Good morning and welcome to Let's Beat This Virus Dead. Because really, all us property investors are in the same boat and we're all worried about how it's going to impact us financially and how it's going to impact our tenants financially. Now, there's a few ways you can handle this, and the reason I've decided to make this recording today is to make people think about how they are communicating with their tenants. I would hope that either you or your agent has a good relationship with your tenants, wherever possible, and that you're looking at ways to work together to resolve this terrible situation that is of nobody's fault. Now, we're worried about money, but equally our tenants are worried about money. And often they are not even going to know what is happening next, where the next money is going to come from, whether they're going to get paid. So, what I decided to do, and this is the approach I've decided to take, is to take a very empathetic approach and write to my tenants in a very caring way to show that I was concerned for them, but also within that, telling them the options available to them so that they can go and get help elsewhere. So later on, I will tell you how to get a copy of this letter so that you can copy it, or I'll send, happy to send it to you in Word, so that you can just plagiarise it and make it your own. Now, why have I done that? Because there's no point in sticking your head in the sand. This problem is occurring and everybody needs to take control of their own situation. So my letter to the tenants starts with showing them that where they can get information on the coronavirus. So, for example, don't assume that your tenants will know where that information is. Don't assume that your tenants will have seen the news, because some people choose not to watch the news. I was talking to somebody whose husband was a policeman yesterday, a friend of mine, and she said that there were people out there who don't even know about the coronavirus. I know that sounds absolutely crazy, but if you don't watch the news, maybe you don't know much about it. So what we need to do is communicate. So my tenants have clear guidance from me sent to them by email. You can try different methods, whatever your method of communicating with your tenants is. Following GDPR rules, of course, and making sure you're not sharing anybody's details with anybody else. You can write to your tenants. I've written to them individually, and I've shown them how to find out more about protecting themselves from the coronavirus. Looking at the letter here, I've also talked about their home, because it is their home, and maintenance, and that we are not going to be doing routine maintenance. If a tile slipped off your roof, unless the water's pouring through your ceiling, we're not going around right now. But other things that are more are really important, of course, gas safety checks, they will still be done. We're also not going to be doing any of our normal tenancy checks where we go in the house, or our agent goes in the house and checks the property. If you've got an agent at this point, I would say if you need to understand what your agents are communicating to tenants. And if they aren't, you can send them this letter and ask them to send it to your tenants on your behalf. The bottom line is you need to be communicating with your tenants, whichever way that might be. The other thing that we've done is we've then asked them to tell us that they've received the letter. So we're talking about safety. We're talking about how they can protect themselves. We're talking about how they can claim benefits and give them the links. I sent mine a few days ago, and it's got links to UC. You might want to link them to some other .gov information, because that will help them to get the help that they need, or that they are able to get. The ones that know will be getting 80% of their earnings, it's actually that their employer will pay them and claim that back off the government. So they will tend to know quite quickly. I know somebody was sent home from work today and was told they'd be getting 80% of their earnings paid directly. So those people straight away will know, that that's happening. Claiming benefits, we've put in there. We've also then moved on to the rental payment. And what I have said around the rental payments, if you do think you are going to struggle with paying any element of your rent, we need you to contact us as soon as possible. This is imperative to ensure that we, the landlords, can get the relevant arrangement in place at our side. We then can make arrangements with you that are needed, but we must stress that any element of your rent you are unable to pay will need to be paid later when things return to normal. We can enter into payment arrangements, but you can't do it now because we don't know how long that's going to be. We don't know how long. So if anybody wants a copy of the letter we've sent, they are more than I'm more than happy to send it to you on a messenger link. So please comment below if you want a copy. Happy to send that. But what I would say is, don't not communicate. This ain't going away. If you want to solve any problems that might come up with your tenants, you need to communicate with them. You need to open the lines of communication. You need to be empathetic, and we need to understand that we're all in this together. It's tough times. Have a good day, everyone. Enjoy the sunshine if you have any outside space in your garden or on your balcony or whatever, and speak soon.